it's a good day to do your interview. You've just had your hair cut.
Yeah.
And your hair straightened. Looks nice. Okay, get in focus. So, it is.
Is it recording?
It is.
Oh, okay.
It is. It is. It is the, what was it? Well, it's the day before you go back to school.
Wait, so 16th.
16th.
16th of August.
16th of August.
2022.
And this is an interview, your traditional summer interview. Try to cover as much of the last academic year.
Whole past very eventful academic year.
And if we've got time at the end, discuss some of the absolutely gigantic summer holiday we've just had.
Woo!
So, off the top of your head, I bet this is going to be really hard actually.
Oh no.
But anything that stands out as a highlight?
COP26.
COP26. Oh right, okay. Which was actually back in
November.
Autumn. November, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty noteworthy, I think.
Yeah. What do you remember about
COP26?
So remind us what it is.
So COP26, it was like the climate summit in Glasgow. And since Mum was working with after the pandemic, I got to stay off school for like 2 days and go in with her and see all the events that was going on there. And it was really fun. There was like Lego was there, and there were primary schools and stuff going and like exploring the workshop, and I got to help out with a bunch of university students, and they asked me, so what do you major in?
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's the first thing I know.
Yeah. I mean, that was much more eventful than that, but if we talked about that, it would just be an interview about COP26.
Yeah. I think we probably did cover COP26 in the Christmas interview because
Did we?
Because we must have talked about COVID.
Yeah.
That's worth mention, of course. But
COVID.
About that a lot. COVID spoiling our Christmas.
And then I had to stay in isolation like after Christmas as well, and that week was just was that before Christmas? No, that was after.
Before Christmas, yeah.
Didn't we stay in isolation after it?
Well, we did because Mum had it. I had it.
Yeah. I think it was that one, and I was reading Wuthering Heights, and I went completely stir crazy, and I ended up like late in the evening just running mad about the garden because I hadn't been outside in a week.
Yeah, no, that wasn't that. It was actually it's worse. That's the worst experience I think of COVID because
we're not the ones who are sick,
and we had to properly self-isolate,
and
the weather was awful, so we couldn't even get out for walks. So we didn't have a great Christmas. We missed out on going to Yorkshire, and Grandma and Grandpa were going to come up, but they couldn't.
Oh, this year will be better.
This year will be better. Anything in the winter term? Do you know anything you remember from?
In the winter time of school?
Yeah. When were you back?
Well.
Actually,
do you mean after?
This doesn't have to be chronological.
Yeah. What about the autumn holidays?
Yeah.
We went to Lodge in the Lake, which is probably what will be the last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was fun. Although I was also sick for the last bit of that.
Yeah, because I had something. Well, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Did anyone test positive?
I don't think it wasn't COVID, but it was a cold, and it was a really bad cold. So yeah, plagued by sickness and like the. Oh yeah, I was also plagued by sickness at near the beginning of the year. I got sick 3 times. Like I got a cold 1 week, then 2 weeks later another cold, and No, it was 3 weeks later, another cold. And 3 weeks after that, another cold.
No, obviously you kept on testing all the time, didn't you?
Yeah, but none of them were COVID.
Um,
Do you want to say hi, Connor?
Connor's being quiet.
Very quiet.
You can. So, where did we go?
It's saying to stop looking at absolutely nothing.
Okay, I've stopped looking at absolutely nothing.
Okay. We'll come back to.
Okay, continue talking.
We'll come back to holidays. Oh yes. So after you got back, after you'd had COVID over Christmas, and we got very little exercise because we were also isolated, you went back to play. Oh no, actually, let's just start this at the beginning. Because you had your first ever basketball match in the autumn after the last time we'd done this interview.
Oh, yeah. So, that was an experience. First ever basketball match. We were the under 14s, but we were like the youngest, like due to like technical things, we were the youngest team in the league. Some of us were like 11. And for the first ever match, we were up against one of the, if not the, oldest team in the league with like 16-year-olds. And who had had much more experience than us, and especially after lockdown, we basically hadn't played any games whatsoever. So first ever match, we lost
107-5.
107 to 5.
I'll never forget watching.
I'll never forget playing in it. It was exhausting. I just kept running up and down and up and down and up and down. I felt like I was gonna die by the end of it.
Yeah. It was a complete and utter disaster all round.
And by the end of it, I was so utterly exhausted and like hysterical that I couldn't even process the fact that that was like horrible. I was just so like.
Yeah, it also turned out that your two best players were missing for that match.
Yeah.
The next match that was in Edinburgh was also a bit of a blowout, although it wasn't quite.
It wasn't as bad. I mean, we were winning for like a small bit of it, briefly. So yeah, there was that, and then we were like at Christmas.
And then after the Christmas holidays, of course, at this point there would have been a lot of pressure on the coach because the results are so disastrous. And of course, she was wanting everyone to do exercise and get properly fit.
Over Christmas, but you couldn't. Well, I couldn't because I was sick.
Yeah, and then when you went back to practice, it was just a bit too much. And
Yeah.
you were in no shape to play, plus it was clearly demoralising you.
Yeah, and there was like way too many hours because it was like an hour and a half on Wednesday, then an hour on Friday, then like a game over the weekend. So.
Or 2 hour practice.
Yeah, or 2 hour practice on Sunday. So.
It wasn't fun anymore, was it?
No.
So
I don't go to basketball anymore.
Yeah. Yes.
Honestly, I have to say it's. Well, I feel a lot more like free, like a weight has been lifted.
Yeah. Okay. So you weren't really enjoying it clearly, but you have other talents which you are now focusing on.
Yes.
So.
I joined RCS.
Yes, of course. That was.
Royal Conservatoire, like the club.
Yeah, Saturday morning.
Yeah, Saturday morning.
Drum classes.
And now the new term, I'm going to be going in the afternoon for like 4 hours, which is exciting.
And how was it? How was your?
Oh, it was so fun. I loved it. Seriously, like, it was just.
What kind of stuff did you do?
Well, some of the time we're playing like drama games Other times we're just playing games. Sometimes we're doing like acting exercises. Sometimes we were just acting, like making up storylines and stuff and making our own like scenes, and we even like performed in front of all of you, like a sharing thing.
Yeah.
It was very fun.
And you met some friends.
Yes.
And what else? Of course, your piano took a huge leap forward this year.
Piano.
Because I think you'd only just started with Ellie, with her tutorful online lessons with Ellie last summer. And so where are you now?
Now I've just done my first ever exam, which was grade 5, and I got a merit. Woohoo!
However, you were actually quite disappointed with that, weren't you?
Yeah, well,
you were hoping
well, to be fair, before that I'd only ever done one exam ever in which I'd gotten, like for speech and drama, in which I'd gotten a distinction, and Ellie was saying that she thought I was capable of a distinction, so I was sort of like expecting myself to get a distinction.
Yeah.
But I'm still like, now I'm very happy that I got a merit.
Yeah, no, it's a great achievement. And you continued with musical theatre, right?
Which is also still very fun.
So the musical theatre dance display that you
did.
did.
Dance display. Okay, that was also very big. So for musical theatre, the place that I go to musical theatre is actually like a really big dance company place. And academy. It's called the Dance Academy. And like once a year, it was Falkirk, right?
Yes.
Yeah, in Falkirk, they hold like a giant big display where all of the different classes have like they just perform on a massive big stage in front of all like the parents and stuff, and it was just so big and so professional, and I was like, but so there was 4 performances, so one Thursday, Friday, and then twice on the Saturday. But since I only go to musical theatre, I had to spend like the whole, what was it, like 4 hours in the place.
Backstage, were you?
Backstage, when I was only on stage for about 2 minutes through the whole thing. And you have to be there the whole time because there's like a big finale at the end.
Yeah.
So, and especially on the Saturday between the afternoon and the evening show, I just stayed there. And like I went to McDonald's with my friends who were also staying there. And I remember on the first night, I forgot my phone.
How did you manage without your phone?
Yeah, how did I manage? I borrowed my friend's phone to watch Marvel. I mean, they had like a lot more, like in the one changing room we were in, because there were like 5 different changing rooms. They had a lot more friends from like their other classes, because it's like sort of assumed, well not really assumed, but like tailored, I guess, for students who have more than one class there. Most of the students have more than one class, which also makes sense for why they needed to stay there for the whole 4 hours. But even though I spent a lot of time in that changing room just sort of sitting there, it was very, very fun and very, like, cool. Yes. I loved it.
Another of your talents that we have that has really come to the fore
very recently, in fact.
Recently is your writing. Creative writing skills.
Creative writing, yes. So, right, which one are you going to mention?
So, the spy story.
Ah, the spy story, yes.
So, I mean, you told me that your teacher, after handing this spy story in, which was a lengthy project,
It took like a month and a bit, or like 2 months, I think.
Yeah. And the teacher said that it would have been a really good mark for a higher piece.
A higher, which is for like sixth years.
Yeah, so like 17-year-olds.
17-year-olds, yeah.
You were 13 at the time.
Yeah. So the whole thing behind the spy story is that we had like a block on creative writing, and it was focusing on spies, like especially James Bond, and we got like a leaflet, like a booklet on it, and at the end, like we read, like me and Hannah, who I sit next to in English, we read ahead, and it turned out the last assignment would be to write an opening for a spy story. And we like suddenly got all these ideas and were super excited about it. So we asked the teacher, Mrs. McClellan, hey, could we start this now and write like a full short story instead of just an opening? And she went like, oh, go for it. We also asked if we could like co-write it together. But it was mainly me who was writing it, and then Hannah, like we both collaborated on the ideas and the characters, and like she proofread it and edited parts and caught the mistakes that I couldn't get. And we ended up handing it in like quite a bit later than the rest of the class, but the teacher was like cool with it because we were writing a full thing instead of an opening. And yeah, she was very happy with it.
Certainly. Was very impressive when I'd actually finally got around to reading it after hearing this, and I was just thinking, how did you get so good at this? This is amazing.
It's fun, I like writing.
Yeah, well, so how? Tell me, how did you get so good at this? Of course, what we didn't realise is how much reading you were really doing.
Yeah, I read like a lot, like on my phone, and I'm actually starting to read quite a bit more like actual books now, because remember during the summer holidays, like, okay, we're probably just gonna mention this because a lot happened during the summer, but the place we were staying in London, the room I was in belonged to a girl who was literally my age, and she had like a whole stack, like it took up like this much space, and it was like this tall, purely of books, and I was like, I want this. So I spent a lot of time reading some of the books that were there, and also reading a book that Mum got me on like the forensics of Agatha Christie's novels, which is a bit weird considering I haven't actually read any of Agatha Christie's novels, but I'm gonna get to it eventually.
So you're going to get a load of...
Yes,
you need a load of more bookshelf space.
I made room. Like, I moved a box or something on my shelf to make room for all the books.
And you became a lot more independent this year, going into Glasgow to watch a movie.
Yes, I went into Glasgow by myself for the first time ever this year.
Yeah, and of course going to RCS.
Yes, and I went to RCS by myself a couple times as well.
Here comes the brain.
Science Centre. I thought you would catch it.
Hey, come on there.
Wait, come say hi. Oh. Come on, you got away. He escaped.
Choosing your Nat 5 subjects was quite...
Nat 5
exciting,
subjects.
wasn't it?
Yes, that was... Alright, so there was English and Maths, which are mandatory. Also, PE and RE as well. Like, we don't do exams on those ones, but they're also like mandatory. 2 periods a week. Right. Mandatory.
What number?
2. was.
Okay.
We're okay. Yeah, we're fine. So.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what subjects are you ultimately doing?
Okay, so for a social subject, so for a social subject, I chose two of them, so geography and modern studies. For science, I chose physics, and the other two, like, free things I can choose, I chose art and Italian.
And you were initially, instead of art and Italian, we were going to be doing music and drama.
But that is actually quite a bad idea because I'm already doing grade 5 piano and for theory as well outside of school, and RCS and musical theatre outside of school. But like I probably wouldn't.
And speech and drama.
Yeah, and speech and drama as well. So I'm doing plenty of music and drama already.
Yeah.
And like I wouldn't be able to do like proper like art like that and Italian outside of school really, so might as well.
And what are your kind of current main interests? I suppose what do you do what do you fill most of your time with now?
What media do I consume?
Yeah. Is it still YouTube?
Well, I do watch like a lot of YouTube. I mean, like, there's all the stuff on there. It's very useful.
Yeah.
I also spend a lot of time reading, both on my phone and just books as well, which is, as I said, a more recent thing. Very recent, actually. But like, as for shows that I watch now, there's one that I got into in like January that I still love. It's called Bungo Stray Dogs. It's like all the characters are named after famous authors and they all have superpowers and the superpowers are named after their books. And they're all detectives. It's really good.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Is that your main one?
That's my main one.
Do you care to mention any others, just out of interest, when you're looking back on this in years to come? You'll be like, oh, no, yes, I was watching that and that.
Well, there's one that I'm excited about now because the season 2 just got announced. Skate the Infinity.
Oh yes.
It's about skateboarding, and it's the art is really cool and music's really cool, and I am very excited. Although season 2 probably isn't coming out for another year, so long wait. Oh yeah, Stranger Things as well.
Oh yeah.
Season 4 came out, and we're still like.
Well, I suppose you probably watched the whole of Stranger Things during this year, haven't you? You weren't. We don't think
Was it? I mean, I watched like season 1. That was definitely last year or the year before.
Was it? Oh, right, okay.
Because like I stopped watching season 3 like halfway. However long ago it was before I watched Good Omens, and then I picked up season 3 this year, and now we're like on volume 1 of season 4. I am not ready for volume 2. I am scared. It's like 2 episodes, and they're both like movie length. I am worried, I am scared, I am not ready. Oh yeah, Marvel as well. Mm-hmm. Marvel, see all like phase 5 and phase 6 stuff for it has just been announced, and I'm very excited. We have a release month for Loki season 2. I am so excited, and there's so many new series that are coming out, and it's too many.
But did you watch Loki season 1 during this last year, I would imagine?
It was during winter. I think it was actually.
Yes, yeah.
That was when I first got into Marvel. Well, it's a bit strange considering that which happens after Endgame is the first Marvel thing I actually watched. Although it's actually
before all the movies.
Yeah, before any of the movies. Also, Infinity War spoilers, but like the first proper Marvel thing I ever saw, well, apart from Guardians of the Galaxy, but that was like years ago, was Loki dying in Infinity War. Like, Mum and Connor were watching it, and I just came downstairs. I didn't even see the part where he, like, gives up the Tesseract for Thor. I just came downstairs, saw him try to stab Thanos, and then die. That was the first thing I ever saw! Yeah, anyway, after watching Loki, like, he totally printed on me, like, a duckling. He's my favourite character. Seriously. So, woohoo!
Who's he played by?
Tom Hiddleston?
Tom Hiddleston, yeah. Any other movies that you've seen, other than Marvel movies? Movie?
Oh yeah, we went to see, like, Fantastic Beasts.
Oh yeah.
Like, The Secrets of Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Connor, didn't we go to see Rise of Gru?
Mm-hmm.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
Come on, say what you liked about it. Did you like it? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Well, I think he's not participating.
Come on, it's just thumbs up or thumbs down? I can't.
The sky.
The sky.
That's a good answer,
Okay,
yeah.
that's a good answer. Okay.
And Sing 2.
Oh yeah, we went to see Sing 2. Oh, and the movie that I went to see by myself in Glasgow was, well, it's not very well known, but Jujutsu Kaisen 0.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one. You still have no idea what it's
No
about, do you?
idea.
You have no idea what it's about.
In the notes, JJKO.
That's a 0.
0.
If you give me the dice, I'll give you obsidian.
Trade.
What did you get for your birthday this year?
What did I get for my birthday? Lots of books. I got lots of books. Oh yeah, I got your old phone. Yeah, I mentioned the books before I mentioned the phone. Look at me. Look how great I am mentioning books before a phone. Yeah,
Do you like your new phone?
Yes, I like the new phone. It's a very good phone. It's better than the old one, which had a giant blob in the corner of dead pixels, which was not my fault.
It's an iPhone 12 Pro.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, so I got lots of books, and I got a cool scarf with dinosaurs on it. And, like, I had a nice breakfast.
Okay. Don't have that long left because Connor's going to ukulele and you're going to musical theatre tonight.
First time after the summer.
Yeah. So let's just list. So where did we go for our Easter holidays?
For Easter holidays,
Yeah.
Easter was great. So we went to Sea Houses first, which was really good. And then we went to, it was in the Yorkshire Dales. Where was
Middleham.
it? Middleham. Middleham. And that was also very good. It was next to a big castle, and we went to the Forbidden Corner, which Connor was scared of, but oh well.
And we've got 10 minutes, in fact we've got 5 minutes to talk about the summer holidays.
Summer holidays.
So, week 1.
Week 1,
We've
okay.
got 6 weeks to talk about.
Okay, week 1. So we went on holiday the first time, and it was a bit like 2019, and we were like going around Wales and the south of the UK. So we went to Liverpool first. Liverpool was great. We went to, what was the second place? It was
Conwy.
Conwy, yeah. And that was also very nice, next to the sort of the sea-ish. That was, I'm just going to say every place was nice, okay?
Cardiff was a highlight.
Cardiff was a highlight. We went to see Thor Love and Thunder. That was amazing. I will forever associate Cardiff with Thor now.
Yeah, both Liverpool and Cardiff were.
Yeah, they were great.
And, in fact, and Plymouth exceeded expectations.
Yeah, Plymouth. Yeah, that was when like there was that big tall thing, right? That big tall thing.
No, the lighthouse.
Yeah, the light. Yeah, the lighthouse, and like you left us, like me and Connor, alone. That was Plymouth, right?
Yeah. So me and Mum could eat in the restaurant upstairs in the hotel.
Yeah, and we just like got left. I got left with a bunch of magic stars, and I ran around mad about the hotel room and like jumped on the bed and stuff because I was restless.
Then we went into Devon, didn't we? But at this point we were getting a bit of a heat wave.
Heat wave.
And,
Yeah, that was a trend of this summer.
Yeah.
Lots of heat waves, like record-breaking temperatures in London, and also wildfires in London.
Yeah. So we came home a bit early, partly because of the heat.
Yeah.
But then had an extra week.
Had an extra. Oh yeah, we went to Newcastle as well, and we went to York like earlier on.
Yes.
York was very good. Newcastle, very good. And then we went to London, and then we went to the Yorkshire Dales again for like 4 nights.
Malham.
And that was a very big contrast from London.
Yes. Although it was too hot to do many of the walks.
Yeah, it was too hot, but like the place we were staying was very nice. Not nice again.
And what do you remember of London, of our week in London? What do you remember?
Oh yeah, I went to see Six on my birthday.
Oh, yes, of course, yeah.
Six the musical, that was very good. I got a keychain. And I remember.
Went to the Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah, went to the Royal Albert Hall.
See a BBC prom.
Yeah, like the gaming prom with all the video game music.
Yeah.
That was very good.
And Grandma and Grandad were there.
Yeah, Grandma and Grandad were there.
For like 4 days.
Mm.
Did stuff with them. Mum was working for quite a bit of it.
Reach into the bag.
And we
These
went,
Connor's
we went to
rummaging.
Homecroft for one day.
Yeah,
didn't
we
we?
went to Homecroft.
Meet the other Jacksons.
Mhm.
And okay, in the 2 weeks between those holidays,
Connor's rummaging about the kitchen.
I'm going to make dinner in a sec, Connor. I'll make dinner in a second. So okay. Yeah, we played D&D, didn't we?
Yeah, well, not D&D,
Proper
D&D, not proper D&D, but like baby's first D&D. That's what I'm referring
The
to.
adventure begins.
Well, I'm gonna refer to it as baby's first D&D, because like I was
You've still
also
got
a player
experience of-
as well as the DM. It's like it is a good introduction, I think, because like I have the Dungeon Master's Manual and it is like massive.
Yeah.
And very intimidating to read. And I really want to play D&D, but I don't, well, I didn't have anyone to play it with before, which is why I didn't do it, but now I actually have people to play it with, and I'm like, I wanna do this, because like, I can act and I can write, so I'm like tailor-made to be a DM.
Yeah. Oh yes, I should add that I had the summer off, so
Yes,
I had plenty
you
of time
did.
to spend with you, which was the reason we did so much. So yeah, we need to get some dinner on because, as I say, got to take Connor to ukulele. Yeah, short-ish interview today, but I think we've got most of it briefly. Good luck at school tomorrow.
Good luck, me!
Say, wrap it up.
Bye!